I know that for Africa, a lot of Africa countries like for people to come and invest, but then there's no plan. But then I believe that if you have the means to come and invest, by all means do it. But I think the whole continent needs skills to be implanted here.
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, the beauty of Africa is that we are one people, and that is like my wish for African people is to actually really unite like what it was back in the days.
Put nothing in place to make it happen. So make things happen. If you're working 9 to 5 and you're struggling and you feel like this is not a place to be, okay, sometimes you just need to hustle harder, continue forward, but make a plan to do something about it.
Yeah.
The moment you start changing your mindset and your activities will also change, as a whole you will change and you will decide to do something different than what you've been doing in the past.
Okay, thank you guys for saying yes to this interview.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure to be here with you. My wife and I, we've been watching you for months.
Oh,
and
that's
it's so nice to
nice.
see you finally.
Yeah, nice to
literally,
meet
you are
you.
exactly the way you show yourself in YouTube. The same.
Oh, man,
So
good
sounds
to hear
good.
that.
So can you just present yourself for people who don't know you?
Je m'appelle Anna.
That's good! Bravo!
That's like all I
That's
know.
good. Can you say the same?
Yeah, I can say the same. Je m'appelle Kevin Acheampong.
Okay, cool.
Kevin Acheampong.
Kevin French. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ah, ça c'était bien dit. Bon alors qu'est-ce que vous faites à Accra?
No, I think you said.
Yeah.
No,
Try.
Why did you come to Accra?
What are you doing in Accra?
What are we
Okay,
doing?
okay.
Yeah.
Who are you? How do you define
Yeah,
yourself?
sure. Let's stick to English. I'm so sorry, all of your French speakers. We didn't really pay attention in school. Our French is not good at all. So, hi, we are the Acheampong family. We moved from the Netherlands to Ghana about 2 years ago. And we basically initially just came for a long vacation. And then COVID hit. We got stuck and we noticed that, wow, life in Africa is amazing. We are just going to try and stay here. So that is basically our story. Oh yeah, we have 2 kids as well, Sophie Jane and Micah.
Okay, so it literally happened like that. You just
Yes.
came for vacation.
We
and you
came
stayed
with
there?
8 suitcases,
Yeah.
saying that we're just going to take a break from our European life.
Okay.
We just need something else for a minute. And we wanted to learn as a family about culture.
Yes.
Okay.
And African culture, Ghanaian culture specifically.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we said we're just coming to learn as a family.
Okay. Which European country was you living in?
Holland.
Holland.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what did you feel there that pushed you maybe to want to come to Africa or to go to another country? What are the triggers?
Netherlands is very, I think life in Europe is everywhere all the same.
Okay.
You
It's
work 9 to
fast-paced.
5, you work fast paced, you rush to bring your children to school, you rush to go to buy groceries, get dinner ready, set the table and everything, and then everything is so rushy.
Yeah, while here life is more, you enjoy life more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You appreciate life more because you can see the difference in the quality of life, of course. And specifically for us, we are half Ghanaian and our kids are also half Ghanaian and we want them to learn more about it. So an opportunity we really didn't got when we were brought up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we felt like we have to do this for our kids to give them the opportunity to at least learn, experience it by coming here and seeing things and getting to know everything for them to develop their own identity in life.
Yeah. Just knowing for them what it's like to say that you're partly African. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Like we didn't really actually know that as well because our parents, like our fathers didn't really do a good job, right?
What do you mean?
They
Like,
did their
it's
job
just
in
that-
the best possible way.
Yes,
Because
but
you
not
don't know
like,
the circumstances whenever they had
okay,
challenges in
let's
life.
say my dad's circumstances, right? He felt like I'm raised by my Dutch mom, so coming to him in the weekends and eating African food is enough. I don't really need to learn more about culture because I'm born and raised in the Netherlands. So when I was asking questions, he would be like, you're mixed, it's okay, you don't need to know, right? Why do you want to know that? Or even him telling that I'm going to move to Ghana, he said, I'm crazy. Why? You are here. I worked everything to make that you are born here. Why are you going back? He didn't understand it at all. He was like, no, stay here. Let the kids go to school in Europe. Like people have this belief that everything from the Western world is much better.
Much better.
So we need to stay in the West. But actually, I feel like life here is much better.
Really?
Yes.
Why would you say that? Or what do you say?
I feel a calmness when I'm here
Thank you.
that I didn't really have, and I feel like in the first time in my life, I'm surrounded by everybody black. And that is something I think that everybody who has even an inch, a drop of black, you just need to come and experience that. Like, you can't have that when you're in Europe or even America or wherever you go. You are never surrounded by fully black people, so you're always an outcast. But here, you're just partly in the majority, like everybody's black, and that is really, really nice to experience.
Okay, so do you feel different to be part of the majority instead of part of the minority?
So the
Are
thing
you
is,
part of the majority because
we are
even
also
in
a
Africa
little-
there is another,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
another
different.
side of being mixed.
being mixed
Yes.
is just so difficult.
Yeah.
You're,
But I
you're,
think,
you're in two worlds.
yeah.
Wherever you are, if we're in Holland, we're black.
Okay.
If we're in Ghana,
We're
we
white.
can be
You're white.
seen as white.
Yeah.
So for mixed kids or mixed people, it's really you're
It's
not.
always difficult.
You're always searching.
You're
That's
searching.
always the issue.
But did
yeah.
you find like place in Ghana at least? Did
Yes.
you find a place?
I feel like
Yeah.
we are celebrated.
Okay.
When you say that, oh, you're Ghanaian, they say, yes, welcome home.
Okay.
Or they say, they're so happy. But when in the Netherlands, I would say, oh, I'm Dutch. They will ask, you're Dutch?
Originally.
Yeah, yes.
How is that
Oh, what do you
possible?
mean
What
exactly?
do you mean you're Dutch? No, but your skin. So it's always questions. While here, there's no question. If you say you're Ghanaian, it's just fine. Like, oh, welcome back.
Okay.
So that is something I felt like is very, very nice and very lovely to just be surrounded. And also the way that my kids are brought up now, they are raised in a way that they say auntie and uncle to people that they don't know. There's a type of respect and there's a type of interference. Like Sophie now, sometimes I send her to the store.
Sophie, you're Alec.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
8 years old. I send her to the corner store. And then I don't even have to worry about her crossing the street because there's no way she's going to cross the street alone. There's always somebody there to help her.
Paying
And
attention,
even if
yeah.
that person is not somebody that knows us, anybody will say, no, baby, come, wait, I'm coming with you, and then they cross the street. While in the Netherlands, it's not like it doesn't happen, but you have to ask.
Yeah.
And when you ask, they'll look at you like, where's your parents? Why is this
Sure,
kid alone?
sure.
While here, it's just like everybody is helping your child in a type of way. Everybody feels that responsibility. And it doesn't matter whose child it is. It's like they're all their children. And I think that is amazing, yeah.
This is what we say in Africa. Everybody's raising the kid
The
together.
kids, yes,
That's a
yes.
good thing.
It's a
We don't have
community
it
thing.
in Europe
Yes,
or other
yes.
countries.
Yeah.
That's very good. So, what did you feel that it was very important for your kids to come here? I think you partially say that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but for you, what your kid could have learned in here
Mhm.
that pushed you to bring them here?
I think the most important part is identity.
Identity.
I think they struggled a bit with that.
Sophie Jane.
Yeah, Sophie
mostly.
Jane. Micah was
Micah
too
not,
young.
Yeah.
So Sophie Jane was like questioning while she had curls or why her eyes were brown or why her skin was brown.
Really? Was
And
it
then-
her questioning herself or friends telling her why your hair is
No, I think
colored?
the influence of being in a
Of
school,
outside,
of
yeah.
mainly
Okay.
a white school, and then when kids after school want to go on a play date and those things, and seeing that sometimes she will be left out, and then she herself will think, oh, is it because the way I look, or
Okay.
is it because my hair is not straight, because I'm the only one with curls, and she will come with those things to us, and we'll be like, oh, this is not anything good. If this develops into something else, it's going to be very bad for her during her upbringing as a teenager to an adult, which is going to affect her so much later on. It can cause mental problems and anything. So we don't want that for our child at all.
Yeah.
So we felt like if we can have a sort of impact in how she looks to herself by showing her a different side of the world and a different part of life which she normally wouldn't have gotten, I think that's the best thing for her to develop her
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
to help her.
So now she can see black people, she can say, okay, she's a mix of black and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
white, so
yeah.
now she understands everything perfectly.
Yes.
And does she see herself more black, more white? something like that.
I think here because everybody says Obroni,
Okay.
but then
What?
Obroni, that's
Obroni.
like white person in
Okay.
Ghana, which is quite very offensive. People
Yeah.
should stop doing that. But I think in her school, because there's so many mixed kids in her school,
Okay.
she feels that she find her people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for mixed people, it's always difficult because you never belong
Yeah.
unless you are with mixed people.
Mixed people.
And here she has Nigerian, German, African American, what other friends? Like Italian, Ghanaian. There's so many mixed kids who she hangs out with, and that makes her really secure. Like she feels that are her sisters. Like she can see herself like having the same type of hair, having the
Okay.
same eyes. So that makes her really confident, like knowing girls who look like her and who are also confident and nice girls to be with. So that really helped her.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
good. So then let's talk about the process now.
Yeah.
When you packed everything in Netherlands,
Yeah.
and you put them in the plane, and you arrive in Ghana.
Yeah.
What was your first impression? It was not the first time you came to Ghana,
No.
No.
but
for
bringing
me, not.
everything from
Mhm.
Netherlands and saying goodbye bye Europe.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah.
we are in Africa. What was the feeling you felt that very first day you came
So
here?
we came with the thought that we're gonna be here for a very long vacation.
Sure.
So that was a sabbatical. That was the
Sabbatical.
initial
Okay,
thought.
so
So we were like, wow, we're gonna go chilling, we're gonna do this, we don't have to work, the kids are in school, we just felt freedom.
okay.
Yeah, I think that is the most, the best way to
Yeah, I
describe
was just looking for
Maybe
to
freedom
relax.
for you.
Yeah, I was really looking
And you
for
were
to
like,
relax.
okay, how am I going to get the money?
Did you have a bit of stress?
A little bit, as a man, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, if
We
if
came
you
with
if
a
you
lot
quit your
of
job,
money.
Yeah, everybody
if you
knows,
quit your job and
Yeah.
everything is going well, I know that people look at me and like, you're crazy. Why are you quitting your job? It's
Sure.
paying you high and everything, and then you set up everything in life. Why would you just quit it? It's not about all the things. It's not about materialistic things. It's more about where can you find peace and where can you learn a lot about yourself
Sure.
and grow in life. And I felt like if you're doing your 9 to 5 daily, yearly, of course you can set yourself certain goals, but you need to expand yourself in order to grow.
Mm.
And me, I like to challenge myself a lot.
Sure.
I think Anna also likes to challenge herself a lot, and we as a family felt like we need to challenge ourselves by going outside of our boundaries and doing something completely different, completely new, in order to learn. And I think that's what we did.
Nobody in our surroundings ever did something like this.
Yeah.
They did the
We didn't-
opposite. they came. Our fathers came
Oh yeah, yeah,
initially
yeah. Yeah.
from here to.
But
Europe.
nobody in our direct surroundings was ever like going to live in another country or
Yeah.
taking a sabbatical for a year.
Sure,
So that was
yeah.
really new.
Mm.
Well, when we arrived here in Ghana, I feel so like inspired every day. I meet so many people who have done the same thing or have done way bigger things or who are building businesses, and yeah, I feel really inspired being here. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so did you build some businesses since you're here?
Yes.
Well,
yes. We
YouTube is our
YouTube
is
is
our
a business.
business.
Yes,
the consultation is our business.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Okay.
are like now seeing it as a business. Before it was just a little bit more of a hobby, and then really happy to show people. But now we take it serious, and it's really a business. Yeah. But as for the financial aspect, I think that stress was there for a while because I think a lot of people think that living in Africa is cheap. But especially Ghana is quite expensive country to be in. So financially, you really have to come with a plan and really be prepared if you want to make that move.
Yeah.
If you're just coming for a year and sure, have all the fun you have. But if you're gonna stay here for a longer period, you need to budget. And I think that
Yeah.
is something we didn't do in the beginning.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people want to do the same thing you've done.
Yeah.
Like coming back to Africa, live maybe for 6 months, 1 year,
Mhm.
but they don't know the budget they
Yeah.
have to have in the pocket to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have to advise them, I don't know, it depends on the country for sure.
It's so
Yeah.
difficult
But
to
so
say
difficult.
that.
difficult.
to-
It
Yeah,
depends on
it's so
your
difficult.
needs and,
On your
and
needs.
what you really want.
If you're a family, if
Yeah.
you're not a family,
Yeah.
what type of school your kids want to
Yeah,
be
if
in.
you have kids and
Yeah,
all
if
that
you
stuff.
don't
Yeah.
have kids. So, yeah, I would say book a consultation. We're always happy to help.
Yeah, sure.
But then I can't really put a strict budget because the beautiful thing I think of living in Africa is that you can live in any type of quality or any type of standard that you want.
Yeah.
You can live from €100 every month, or you can live from €5,000 every month. It's how you want it. While I think in Europe it's more set, like this is the type of budget you live in, and here it's fluid. You can basically create the life you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I think everything, we all love Africa, but everything is not easy.
No.
So what are the main things that you was not comfortable with when you came to, especially Accra? What are the things?
My main thing is comfortability within a house.
Yeah.
Like the housing and the type of way that they're built here is not the same standard as in Europe. I would say the standard that we are used to here is high-end luxury. So that is a difficulty for me.
I think with me, it's I can easily manage in chaos. That's
Chaos?
chaos, like
Okay.
no structure at all. But then I can find in that no structure sense a way to get things in process. But then the difficulty you face here is that there's no process for a lot of things. Even if they say that there's not.
Okay.
So me, myself, I like to arrange a lot of things in a short period of time. And that's sometimes here very challenging, which sometimes can get the best out of you.
Yeah.
So you need to adjust your mindset and shift to a more relaxed pace of getting things done. And know where you can pull the strings
Yes.
for you not to get
We were
same.
definitely used to just like, especially with moving, we were thinking, okay, we're gonna move and we're just taking 2 weeks. Within the 2 weeks, we have everything done.
Mhm.
But let's say you want to get a table, you want to buy a table. In Accra, it's gonna take you at least a day to go to different shops to compare the different prices to find the type of quality or the type of look you feel for just buying a table.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, 2 hours, you're done. You bought a table and you go back home.
Because you go to IKEA.
Yes, or you
Or
compare maybe another
everything is-
store,
Everything
or
is
you,
centered, you know
or you
where
look
it is.
online with the different prices and you make your choice and you're done.
Okay.
But here it's so draining, just for a table, just the whole day, and you come home, you're so tired, and then you think tomorrow, oh my God, we have to do chairs now.
Yeah.
So you know, this is so draining. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think that not having a process sometimes takes a lot of your energy. But if you can just calm down and move with the pace that the way Ghanaians are, you're very good. But it takes some adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what about the traffic?
Oh.
Yeah, because I've seen some.
Yeah. So with traffic, I'm going to be honest. Traffic here is like crazy. I think maybe India's even worse than here.
Wow.
But there are rules, but then nobody minds the rules.
That's the thing.
There's authority, but nobody minds authority. So everybody's doing what they want.
Yeah.
Trotters are stopping whenever they want to, which can cause accidents.
Yeah.
Cars break down every day in every lane, and they just stop. Nobody pushes them to the side. So those things are very frustrating. But then again, if you know how to drive, you can
You can manage, yeah.
No,
I think you need like extra skills to
yeah,
drive
you
here.
need to put yourself in a certain mindset. Like, let me give you an example. Giving way.
Yeah.
Normally, you have to give way in certain situations. The moment you give way here in Ghana to one car, 5 cars will come and follow, and you will
Happens to
stand
us,
there for
for
maybe
example.
10 minutes or something.
Oh.
So you
No,
just
I
have to
think
be a bit
having
rude. You need to put
Yeah.
yourself in a rude manner.
You have to take
Yeah.
away, take everything that you
You
want
have to
in
own
traffic.
everything.
Otherwise, you're not moving forward.
Anna, are you driving here?
Yes, I am. It took me a
You're
while,
enjoying
but
driving
no.
here.
Not so I would say that having a driver here is definitely not a luxury.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's very good because in traffic, especially when I'm with the kids, if I'm driving alone, I'm okay. But if the kids are in the car, they're talking to me,
That's true.
and there's all this traffic that I have to think about, and then I'm watching the road, and then all these people, it's just too much. And then you come home, you're just tired, and every time, especially in the beginning when I was not driving, I was thinking, Kevin, what is your problem?
Yeah.
You're always tired. But now I really see that, oh my God, it's so stressful.
Yeah, it's just you
Yeah,
have
it
to
takes
pay
a lot of your
attention
energy.
the whole
Yeah,
time.
the whole
Like
time, that's
when
true.
I was recently back in Holland, and I felt like, wow, I can just close my eyes and
And drive.
drive.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen. But here, the moment you blink your eyes, you can get in an accident because
Wow.
you're driving correctly, but somebody else is just trying to do something very stupid.
Yeah. So
And
this is why people say you have to drive not only for yourself,
Yes.
but for the car
Yeah.
before you
you have to
do
you
on
have
the
to
left,
really
on the right.
anticipate very far,
Totally.
like 3 times more than normal,
Yeah.
and that can be draining for you. But on the other side, sometimes it's fun.
Right. So are you planning to take a driver very soon?
I think I would.
Really?
I don't think
for the
Kevin-
kids. For the kids.
No, also for myself.
Really?
Like, yes.
You have a driver here.
No, Kevin doesn't like to lose control, so I think he will also always keep driving himself. But I just feel like it's way more relaxing. And yes, so if I can finance it, definitely I would, yeah.
Okay. What about the cost of life in Accra?
Very.
People have been saying that Accra is an expensive city. How expensive it can be?
Depends.
It's very expensive.
Yeah,
I think
depends.
it's very expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive, but also it depends on how you can set your standards. If you're if you like continental dishes and everything from the Western world, you're gonna pay for it because a lot is imported. There are taxes on it. There's duty from the port and everything. If you want to go to the high-end restaurants, you're going to pay for it. But if you want to eat local dishes, then you're going to save a lot of money.
Even local dishes, I went to some restaurant,
Sometimes
they
it's
can
expensive.
sometimes be expensive.
So there's the
there's
local
a chain.
restaurant and there is
Local restaurant.
Chop bar.
So, chop bar. So if you wanna eat like for nothing, pretty much you have to go to chop bar.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you have to understand that
It's
if
not
you go
all
to
the
a
chop
chop
bars
bar,
you can go
sometimes you have
No,
to
I
go.
ate in a chop bar.
Okay.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I only paid about 5 Ghana cedi,
Uh-huh.
which is like $1.
Yes.
pretty much.
Yes.
The same dish I ate in the chop bar, I went to a restaurant.
Yeah.
I paid 40.
Yes.
You
So
see?
you see,
Yeah.
yeah.
40.
Yeah, but
So
then
pretty much-
sometimes the difference can be for 5 CDs you'll
Yeah.
be on the toilet for 1 whole week.
Yeah.
And for 40 CDs you won't be. So
That's right. But the
It's-
thing is, the food in the chop bar was even nicer than the food in the restaurant.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there was more taste.
Mhm.
I wonder what they put in it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It takes adjustment.
Yeah.
Right, what I said, I think people have an expectation that Africa is cheap. It's not cheap at all because everything is imported.
that's true.
And the way people hustle here is on another level. If you meet somebody who is like an entrepreneur, that person will not have, nobody has one business here. Everybody has 4, 5, or 6 that they're managing at the same time because the cost of living is just very expensive if you want quality. And then what my issue is that the quality is not always there whilst you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Because I've traveled to a lot of countries, I know what luxury and quality is. And it's not that it's not here in Ghana, but we're getting there, yeah, we're getting there, but still you're paying for it.
Sure.
So I think at a certain point there needs to come a shift in the economy because it's just not doable anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have been asking how much do they need to live in Ghana comfortably. I know it depends on a lot of things, but
Yeah.
what would you say about that? If you want to have like at least a normal life, I don't want to say European style, but everyone coming from the diaspora, they want to have like a comfortable life.
Yeah.
So how much you have to plan, to budget, to live in a very good position or in a normal position in Accra?
So are we including rent or excluding rent?
Let's put rent in it. Because rent, why do you want to exclude rent? Is it like the major?
So, let's say
Yeah.
you're coming as a single person, right?
Sure.
You live just every day you're eating at home, and then in the weekends maybe you eat out. Your rent alone will start from $900 a month,
Yeah.
and this is just
Yeah.
1 bedroom or single studio apartment.
Yeah.
So that is why it can be very expensive here. If you have your house already here, maybe you're staying with family or whatsoever, you will have 500 euros and you'll be okay. So that is why I'm saying it's so variable. Like it depends what type of lifestyle you're looking for.
Sure.
And yeah, I would say if you're alone, just come and try. I think it's the best way to start. If you come here as a family, you need a very, very solid plan. But if you're single and just thinking about, oh, maybe I would live in Africa one day, this is the time for you to come, build your business, move your way around, know your people, and then
Get
by all
network,
means you will
yeah.
succeed. Yeah.
To succeed. Totally.
Yeah.
So today, are you planning to go back to Netherlands, staying here? What are your plans?
We love to
Very
stay here.
difficult to stay. We love to stay.
Of course, it's difficult to maintain your lifestyle here. The cost of kids going to school is killing, and then the housing situation is also killing. So those things really affect our decision in staying here or leaving. But we're doing our best to make everything work and to see if things are possible for the next coming years and really reasonable.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that we're doubting about, like the type of money we will spend staying here for 2 years and the type of quality. Is it still worth it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but if you have to choose, you're going to choose Accra,
stay,
of course.
yeah.
To stay,
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
I think the kids are very happy here.
The whole situation now back in Europe with the COVID measurements and even now everything in the world is getting worse now because of the new Delta variant. And
Exactly, and more things are coming up.
Yeah.
So is it the right time to go back?
No.
I totally don't
No.
think so. So, yeah, why should people come here?
I would definitely advise anybody who has grounds in Africa, if your parents have a house here, if your uncle has a place here, you need to come. I don't know what you're still doing in Europe. You need to come here. Like, come and invest. Come and think about building your business. Like, there's so, like what Kevin says, there's no really structure, but that means there's so much opportunity.
It's a possibility
Like,
to create structure.
Even if, and especially if you have a European or Western mindset, you can succeed here because service level is not good at all. Structure, we need help with. So if you can bring those mindset, bring your money and have your plan, you will
Especially
succeed.
skills.
Yeah.
I know
very
that for Africa, a lot of Africa countries like for people to come in and invest, but then there's no plan. But then I believe that if you have the means to come and invest, by all means do it. But I think the whole continent needs skills
Yeah.
to be implanted here.
True.
Guidance to people. People need to be trained in order for the country to grow. Because that's what the country really needs. It's not only Ghana, but it's the whole continent.
Africa, yeah.
People need to come with the skills here and start investing their skills here, not just money. Because money comes and goes.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we really need the skills here to
Invest in people. Yeah.
Investing in people.
Yes.
That's a very good transition because I wanted to ask you what are the reasons why people from the diaspora should be coming back to Africa? Because a lot of them, they're stressing, they're saying, can they have like a very good life there?
Of
We're
course.
talking about like the non-organization, the government departments and everything.
Yeah.
So what are the other reasons for you for them to come?
I think people from the diaspora also, in one way, they have a part of their history that has been like blocked. They've been taken from the continent and put in another country, and there's a whole existence created there, but then there's no connection to here. And in order for you to get a connection or to get a better understanding where you come from or a deeper sense of it, you need to come back to your source. Even if you don't know originally from which country you're originated, you can do a lot of testing. But also by traveling to several countries, you get to learn more and find out more. And you can even match some things you are used to doing, or you can sense where your actions are coming from. If you have been to several African countries and understand how things work, how tribes work, and how
everything,
how the country works as a whole, it makes sense for you to understand yourself better. And I think
to know yourself.
it's good. It's good for everybody in the expert. Just
I think every black person needs
Should
to
come
go
and
to
go.
Africa at least once in their lifetime. It's like life-changing experience. And especially for Black Americans or people of the Caribbean, like the way where you are, you might be comfortable, but that's not your home. So you can never truly be yourself if you don't know where you're from. So that is why I think everybody should just visit Africa.
That's good. So since you're here, since you live in Africa, have you discovered anything about yourself that you didn't know before, or about Africa that you didn't know before?
So much.
Yeah.
Like what?
Especially not really about myself, but especially my dad. There are certain things that I just never understood, like why the hell would you put your hand outside of the window if you're gonna go someplace? We have lights in your car, you don't have to put your hand out. But here it just all makes sense, like oh my god, I understand you now. The things that I've had so much difficulty with, here is just normal life.
Yeah.
So I really understand him much better, so that also grew in having a better bond with him.
That's true.
And I think as for what changed for myself is like I'm more proud of who I am. I think before in Europe, I would never leave the house like my hair like this. I would always have a weave or wigs or braided because I felt like that beauty standard is where I need to conform myself in. And then here, because I see women with all all types of roundings and beautiful bodies, I just feel like I'm okay the way I am.
So the standard have changed.
Yes, they have changed, and I'm much more happy with that.
That's true. That's very important. And you, Kevin?
For me, I was really curious to know some certain habits from my father, because my bond with my father wasn't that well when I grew up, and I was just trying to understand how do I reflect in comparison to my father. How was he as a man? Because I tried to get information from him, but he really didn't want to talk about it. So spending time with my family here, getting to know them better and understand how my father was, makes me understand myself better. I understand where my energy comes from, where the hustle mentality which I had always, where it comes from. Because when my father was when he came to Holland, and after I was born, especially in the latest stadium in my life, I didn't see what I know now. I compared to how my father was here before he left, compared to now, it's 360 degrees.
People,
It's a whole other person, and I was wondering how, because I can't see that thing in my mom. My mom is very different, but there's this part of me, and it comes from my father, but I don't know where and how. But being here, I understand it. I get to know it more, especially talking to my aunties and my uncles. Yeah.
So you don't know. And what is the one thing that you discover about Africa, generally, or Ghana? One thing that you keep in mind. How long have you been here for?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was only 1 year.
No.
Already 2 years.
Yeah.
For me, the
Okay.
beauty of
Yeah.
Africa is that we are one people,
Thank you.
and that is like, my wish for African people is to actually really unite, like what it was back in the days, and you still feel very attached to people when you walk outside. I don't know if it's recognition or if it's that we have the same skin color or if it's that we're from the same background, but I feel like African people were so strong before. We used to be one, and maybe because a lot of people have been taken that we forget that, and now we look at the white people and think that that's how we need to be. But if we can just go back to being a united front, I think Africa will rule the world.
Oh,
I really believe that Africa is the future. If you look at economically wise and how we have way much more children, and if you look at the world,
the population
Africa is
and
really the
everything.
future, but
Mm.
we need to unite again, and I think that is the problem with
No, you think the unity will be the ground of like the race of Africa?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the history of Africa,
Mm.
yes, we have a lot of different tribes,
Sure.
but somebody decided to put boundaries on and create countries where people were one whole. I feel like we Africans are always proud about what we're doing and how we are and our traditions, and I feel like we need to lift those to another extent where everybody really gets to know it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for tourists to see when they're coming to our country, but in every action we're doing. When it's negotiating with a Western country, a deal when it comes to gold or oil or something, we need to make sure that they understand our power, because we lost our power
Sure.
for some reason.
Mm.
And I feel like in this era now, it's time for us to show we are there to stay, we are there to create a new future and to give the possibilities to other countries, because other countries are going to be dependable on us.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite, and it's very strange because we still have some contracts with some countries paying monthly a fee
for nothing.
for nothing. It doesn't make sense, but that's politics. I just want to stay away from politics. But as Africans, we have to be pride in what we're doing, what we stand for, and how we are seeing ourselves in a specific role in the future. And I believe, and I've seen it, and I've witnessed it here, Africa is the future.
Mm.
Whether people like it or not, people are willing to jump to Africa to risk everything
Yeah.
because they see there's something, and we know that's something, and everybody needs to discover that something.
Sure. I think everyone else, like Chinese, Europeans, and everything,
Of
they
course.
see that something.
Yes.
So it's good that us also we see that something.
Yeah.
It's not for us to structure and to unite and to plan ahead
That's right.
instead of planning weekly or for the next 4 terms.
Not the planning,
Yes.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. It was very nice. In every country I'm going, I'm trying to ask people why should people come to live in that specific country. Now we are in Ghana.
Yes.
How Ghana is different from the other African country, depending to you,
So
and why people should come and live in Ghana.
We haven't experienced
A lot.
a lot of Africans
No.
say that you should come to Ghana. We have lived in
In
Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
So I can only say that in Ghana, it doesn't matter if you're Ghanaian or non-Ghanaian, they are very welcoming to every foreigner. And living in Ghana gives you peace.
Peace. Really, I was talking about that yesterday in one of my videos. What kind of peace does it give you?
It's so difficult to say, right? Because outside there's so much chaos.
Yeah.
But in a certain I think the peace comes from the people,
Yeah.
not from the king, because there's a lot of chaos and we're not definitely not there yet. The country's not developed well enough to say that this is the hub of Western Africa.
Sure.
But it's the people who are so nice, so welcoming, always smiling, no
Yeah.
matter their circumstances, they are happy. And that type of happiness, I think we as Western people envy that. And when you see that a person can just be happy even though he doesn't know what he's going to eat tomorrow, that is the type of peace that I'm talking about.
That's good. And do you feel that peace because you feel also home at some point?
I
Even
think
if
so.
there's chaos in your home, the only feeling of being home in your house can give you that peace also.
Yes, that is something we are still looking for, I think. But outside and seeing Ghanaian people is what makes Ghana worth it, I think. Yeah.
That's good. So, what is your last word to the diaspora, to people watching us? In French, if you can. In French. Okay, let's put it in English. So, what is the last word? They're living there. They're living a 9-to-5 job. They're not happy about their life there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are dreaming about Africa.
Yeah.
But they are so afraid of taking a step further.
Don't be afraid.
So what can you tell them?
Yeah, never be afraid. Always know that if you try things out, in the later stage you can say if it was a correct move or not.
Yeah.
It's better to try things out than only think about things and wish for things but put nothing in place to make it happen. So make things happen. If you're working 9 to 5 and you're struggling and you feel like this is not a place to be, okay, sometimes you just need to hustle harder, continue forward, but make a plan to do something about it.
Yeah.
The moment you start changing your mindset and your activities will also change, as a whole you will change and you will decide to do something different than what you've been doing in the past. So if you have that mindset, keep on going. If not, try to create it. Watch a lot of YouTube videos,
Of course,
on the channels.
Watch the
Read about
Acheampong
it.
Family YouTube channel.
And take a step.
Yeah,
Take a step. It will help you a lot.
that's very good. Anna, want to add something?
I would say that you just need to try.
Yeah.
It's gonna be scary, of course. It's gonna be challenging, of course. But if you don't try, you won't know. So just try.
Just try.
Just try.
Just try. I think that's the only thing you can say. Oh, okay, let me say it in French. Bon, en fait, tout ce qu'ils ont dit, c'est essayez, les gars. En fait, l'Afrique n'est pas parfaite. Hein. Il y a plein de choses qu'on peut faire. Il y a plein de choses qui ne sont pas à leur place. Mais si on ne vient pas pour essayer, comment on va savoir si c'est la bonne chose à faire ou pas? Donc, il vous invite à venir. Je vous invite à venir. L'Afrique est bien. Moi, je vis au Ghana depuis quelques jours. Et je peux vous dire que des peace, la paix, qu'on ressent ici est totalement inouï. C'est vraiment quelque chose de bien. Et je pense que Anna l'a très bien dit, c'est qu'on se sent bien, on se sent chez nous. Qu'est-ce que vous attendez? Venez en Afrique alors, les gars. Venez, on vous attend. Okay, thank you guys. It was very nice. Thank you so much. Au revoir. And we wish you all the best luck. And see you very soon. Allez, bon, au revoir à tout le monde et puis on se parle très vite. Bye bye.